Welcome back, everybody, into another weekly recap. Last week, from the 27th of September until the 1st of October. What we saw was the last week of the month. We were expecting some big moves, some unexpected moves. Let's go and back and check what were the reports on the week. We had on Monday some durable goods, some Federal Reserve speaker, FOMC members speaking. On Tuesday, we had the ECB chair / President Lagarde speaking. Then we have Powell testimony, and then we have the consumer confidence of September on Tuesday, which I need to go back and check on here. Then we had a lot of central bank speakers. On Wednesday, we had again Powell speaking, but it was with the Treasury, so it was not only about the monetary policy. Some other news for the Eurozone. Thursday, we had unemployment claims, of course, for the initial jobless claims for the USA, the GDP, and the PMI of Chicago. On Friday, we had PCE again, and the ISM manufacturing and the Michigan consumer sentiment. So, if I'm not mistaken, they were not that big the moves. On Thursday, end of the month, end of the quarter, we had some slightly worse initial jobless claims, but were combined with a better GDP. So it was a sort of mixed sentiment, but the end of the month, end of the quarter always sets up different particular moves. Let's see now if it loads the Forex Factory for last week. We want to see the consumer confidence of the USA last week. Okay, when was it? Here was on Tuesday. Yes, so it came out worse than previous, worse than expected. And let's go to see now on gold. So as you know, we're going to use on the 5-minute chart. We started the week on a very already bearish trend because we were already into a bearish bias due to the, of course, optimism about the tapering happening in so main themes. Tapering in November. Even with decent job reports, tapering done by mid next year. And that's it. This was more than enough for price to continue bearish at the start of the week. And as you can see, that's what was happening. It was bearish between key levels, failing to break below 1744, bouncing but still very bearish. Every time the buyers were not able to push price up until we break and retested 1744 price sensitivity area, retest of the key level to dig down to 1730 key level. There we saw some whipsaws, some on Tuesday, some whipsaws also due to the various speakers, with one headline is optimist, one headline is negative. The mixed sentiment of the headlines was kind of clear. It was mixed sentiment. And of course, yes, they do matter, but they impact the market only. Who impacts the market is when Jerome Powell takes the decisions and says the decision is someone else took. But still, on Wednesday, we see exhaustion from sellers, and we see a bounce up above 1730, still failing to break this previous PSA on the left-hand side that was charted from the start of the week. Break and retest again, which is not a break and retest, but is a confirmation of rejection here. First, confirmation of the supply area being very strong. This is a sort of sniper entry, so I will put it like this, because on the we are at a PSA 1744, and we are the trend line. We are at the trend line. What's the word? We are exactly at the trend line. Let's put it this way. And from there is an upper entry. We saw multiple rejection, safer entries below 1739 key level, up until 1726, more than 130 pips. Another bounce retesting these previous lows, which were the 1733, going deeper to 1721, very strong demand area, which caused price to do a sort of double bottom on the high time frame, possibly on the hourly, if I'm not mistaken. But it is still a very strong double bottom at a key level. And from there, we see the last day of the month doing New York session. It started before, continued doing New York session. Yeah, taking advantage of the excuse of the weak jobless claims, but still is the end of the month. Is the trend is buy a bearish? We want to start the last quarter of the year with a nice price point for them to take nice sells below, even further to close the year possibly below the 17 slash 1680s very strong supply area. As you can see, this price action was so clean between key levels, between PSAs, giving many opportunities for scalpers to enter, revisiting those previous highs 1764, and then this is a huge take profit price setting pullback, short-term weakness of the dollar, many you can call it anyways, but this move you won't see it on EuroDollar, for example. And after that, you see that the week ended on Friday with just ranging, yes, revisiting 1764 highs, bouncing multiple times from 1751, and then just closing it as it is. Very nice snapper entry, PSA plus trend line give you these setups. So let me just clean it down. Let's go on EuroDollar. As you can see, end of the month didn't cause any particular spike. Yes, we had some move, but nothing really impacting. As you can see, even EuroDollar is bearish. That's because from the tapering, we are taking advantage of the strength, expected strength, pricing in the strength of the dollar. So Monday, Tuesday, nothing really happening. Let's see if we had any news that I don't remember. Tuesday we had, Monday nothing, we had some speech, no reports on Tuesday as well. On Wednesday we had consumer confidence, the same, industrial confidence slightly better, but nothing really impacting. We had on Thursday the unemployment rate, which came exactly the same as expected of the Eurozone, slightly better the Germany one. And on Friday we had the CPI, which was year on year still high, above 2%, 3.4%, still high. And there you go. But still, since it was expected, since euro that is not like gold, which is a precious metal used against the inflation, is not really that impacting at all. So just is useless to just do that, just keeping the very strong bearish bias due to the optimism coming from the Fed talking about tapering with a specific deadline and a specific starting date. Let's go on Bitcoin, which never stops. Yeah. There you go. On Bitcoin, we had very nice moves as well. If I put the key level on, you can see that between each line is 25 pips. So you can imagine how big the moves happen on Bitcoin. And there you go. Starting the week around 44K, very strong PSA, resistance or support depending on where the price is moving. We were moving bearish until, as you can see, yes, we had the first closures above here. Not showing buyer's strength yet, as you can see, failing to keep making new highs. You have a not deep correction exactly at these previous lows, 4700 level, and from there bouncing very strong, closing and making definitely new higher highs. As you can see, we are closing above this previous PSA, closing above the previous lower highs, which confirms that the trend is shifting. We are in an order block, which is completely normal. Remember that the trends move in two ways: grabbing liquidity, grabbing orders, and then moving up. This is exactly the same what happened on Friday. Now this is what Friday. We were expecting price to, if we break again 44K, we're expecting a bounce from 43,100, and which never happened exactly on the dot, but above 44K, very strong, or the block being created, and then very this is 400 pips move, 340 from this other block. From 44K, it's 420 pips move. Start of the month might be some order flow being created like gold at the end of the month, but it's a break and retest, revisiting these previous highs, and then just ranging to close off the week, which is never closed for Bitcoin, but since I don't trade it, we're just ranging. So this is it, guys, for the weekly recap. See you next week.